live. I'll let you know when we live. And we are live. Yeah, they said we are live. We are live. We are live. And I have a very, very special guest right here. Um, I'm trying to pronounce your name right. We got
Okay.
from New York, Marissa Meleske. I don't know, but what's your name? I'm not good with names.
Close. Meleske.
Meleske. Okay, Meleske. All right, Marissa. How you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great, and I just feel that we are destined for greatness. We are destined for greatness, and every day is going to get better, and the best is yet to come.
Oh,
So
it's already happening.
yes, yes, and ooh, we. So are you a so? Would you consider yourself a conservative or Republican or left? I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just asking. What do you consider yourself? What are you?
Definitely. I've always leaned Republican because my mom was Republican, and my dad. The only reason he was ever a registered Democrat was because of the unions. He always believed in unions at his work. I don't know, but he always he was never like the crazy Democrats now, and he did. I think he did vote for Bush, and unfortunately voted for McCain, which
Uh-huh.
we all know was a mistake now. But the other one would have been a mistake too. Um, and I mean, with 9/11 happening in New York, where I'm from, it was hard not to be a Republican. But with the Republicans the way they are now, I'm much more of a Trump Republican
Yeah.
as opposed to a Swamp Republican, even though I live on Swamp East.
Yes. Ooh, this is such a different right party right here. A different right party. It's like the new breeds. You know what I'm saying? We like the you got former Democrats right here and first time voters over here, and it's like we are rising up against socialism. We have
Yeah,
risen up against socialism.
the party, as far as the voters go, has never been more united. As far as the elected officials, not so much.
Hmm. Yep. Wow, this is great. This is great. Ooh, I'm watching your. I was watching your YouTube channel, and you have your own website. You have a movement that you are here. That you. I mean, just tell everybody what you got going on. What you got going on in your life. What you got going out on YouTube. What you got going on.
Okay, well, I was born with a disability, which is spina bifida. Short version of what that is I was born with a like blister kind of thing on my spine,
Yeah.
and it had the nerves kind of like in a ball,
Hmm.
and they were exposed, and so I'm paralyzed from the knee down.
Okay.
Had a million surgeries. My hip is out. I do not ever want to go under the knife again. If I ever have another x-ray, I will probably be radioactive, so that's never happening again. um so growing up and 32 now, I've realized that disabilities and paralysis is definitely not just physical. And actually, because I can't relate to the people who had like an accident or something like that later in life who lost an ability, I can't miss what I never had. But I've noticed that things mentally and emotionally and even spiritually can paralyze a person just as much as physical paralysis, if not more.
Mm.
So I started push past paralysis.
Okay. Push pass. And if anybody want to check her out, I put the link in the description box, and everybody can subscribe to her channel. And she's man, she's a warrior, mighty warrior. And we need more warriors here, you know. And that's the problem. You got younger generations. These people, they're teaching younger generation not to be warriors. They're teaching them to be victims.
Yeah, and I can't stand that because I've never been a victim in my life, and it makes me cringe. Everything is offensive to people. Like,
Mhm.
you had to see people because, well, the disabled community, first of all, hates the president. Well, a lot of them do. I don't want to say all because I do have some conservative friends.
Right.
But when he did that thing that everybody swore was offensive for the disabled community, all hell broke loose. You can't even talk to them about it to this day, many of them.
Mm-mm. You can't. And like I was saying the other day, people get, we was talking about this, people get Trump triggered. They get Trump triggered. The
Oh
word
yeah.
Trump, oh, they start yelling and like, hold on, calm down. I just said I support Trump. They get Trump triggered. It's like Trump derangement syndromes do exist.
Oh yeah, they do. And the not side effect. The symptoms are very obvious.
Yeah.
I had people begging me, crying to me days before the election not to vote for him. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but I'm voting for him.
What did he do wrong? I mean, tell me what he did wrong. Oh, he hates Mexicans. Did he say it? Oh, he hates this. Did he say it? Oh, he's racist. Show me that proof that he's racist, and I won't support him. I told them. I gave them all. Look, I gave them all a list. You show me this, and I said, I promise you, I won't support him because I don't support bigots.
Mm-hmm.
I don't support that. I don't support that type of stuff, And I felt like I was lied to because I supported bigots my whole life. I was Democrat my whole life. I was lied to.
All of them.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that they're accusing him of, they are.
Mm-hmm. They are.
Yep.
Thank you. They are the fascists.
Yeah, they're the fascists. I mean, they want to kill babies after the babies are born.
Thank you. That's what
the disabled community is extremely vulnerable to abortions. Extremely. Like, I think in some countries there's no Down syndrome babies because they abort them. All of them. I don't quote me, but I think it's Finland. Somebody in the chat should research that, but I think it's Finland.
Okay.
Yeah, I just feel like there's not much we can do as far as the elected officials with that right now.
Mm-hmm.
But we need to educate parents, because when I was born, when my mother was pregnant with me, when you get a certain test, a disability will show up if the baby's gonna have it. And I kind of messed this up on some of my interviews because I thought she got the test. She didn't know that I was gonna be disabled. She just had a mother's intuition that something was gonna be, I don't want to say wrong, but something was up. And but when you get that test, if a disability shows up, everybody that I've asked, and I'm in groups with thousands and thousands of disabled people.
Yes.
I don't even like those terms, like people living with disabilities or people who use wheelchairs. I just call them people. But for the sake of explaining, I'll say disabled people. I've asked thousands of them, and if your parents get the test, I'm kind of echoing.
I don't hear you echoing.
Okay, good. If the parents get the test, they're given the option to abort the baby. And I'm sorry, but a disability could happen. That's something you should be thinking about before you have sex. Yeah. You should be thinking about that as much as you're thinking about having a baby in general. So if you don't want to have a baby, there's plenty of ways to prevent it.
Yes, anyway. Don't gotta kill it. Not it, but you gotta kill him. Kill him.
It's sick.
It is. It's just very sick, and I just don't get this. 20 years ago, no, I'll say about 30 years ago. 30 years, I remember the word abortion. See, I had my first child at 15 years old. 15 years old, and my girlfriend at the time came to the house with her parents and said, "I'm pregnant," but abortion was not in none of our head. It was like wrong. Like, oh, that's killing. My mother said that's killing. We can't do that. I didn't understand what abortion is. They explained it to me as a teenager because I never understood it. And I would never do that. And guess what? My son is a blessing. He's in the Marines. He went to the Marines for 4 years. So that's the way I look at it. No.
Are you still there?
You there? You have paused for a second.
Okay. I was listening to a video recently of somebody who doesn't really get political and doesn't really usually touch on abortion, but she did for one of her recent videos, and she said that she did have one because she didn't want to be stuck with the guy that she had it with, because she had already had one kid with him.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, how can you? And then she literally basically said that it was a decision she made for herself. Like, so that's extremely selfish to me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's very selfish, and we live in a very selfish society right now. I've never
Hmm.
seen more selfishness in my life. It's like you just said. Look, it's 9-month baby. When you 9 months pregnant, you can get an abortion. They're going. They probably push it that you can abort a toddler. They might push it to that. I wouldn't even be surprised how extreme that they go. They're being extremists. They're too extreme what they believe in.
Parents who used to say, "I brought you into this world, I could take you out," are just gonna drive to an abortion clinic and
Mm-hmm.
be like, "Do you want to go in there? It's sick."
Uh-huh. Wow. I can't anymore. It's like, I got 7 grandchildren.
Wow.
Well, 6 and one grandchild on the way. I got 7 of them, and I'm so scared for them. And
Yeah.
I beg everybody. I beg everybody that got newborns. Please homeschool your children. Please. I don't beg nobody, but I'm begging y'all to homeschool your children because it's gotten worse.
What they're teaching them now is, ugh. And as far as selfish goes, that's where I think a lot of the Trump derangement syndrome comes in, because people are so focused on their personal one issue. And I know I said earlier, that you get to decide where, like, somebody's going to look at me and say, "Oh, you're a racist if you vote for him." No, I have personal reasons, but at the same time, the other side of that is, I'm not going to take an identity politics personal aspect of myself and make that a reason for voting. What he does or doesn't do for people living with disabilities means nothing if we have no national security and we get nuked.
Yep.
So those issues have to be handled first.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We look, Marissa, we got to protect our home first. We got to protect our home first. It's like I live in this duplex apartment right here. I live right here. I live in a ghetto. I live in the hood. I'm not going to leave my door open all day long. This is a security. So this is for security purposes. I got to keep my door locked and chained up for security purposes.
When you tell them, "Oh, okay, so you can take one in, or you can just leave your door unlocked." "Oh, no, no, no." And then when you ask the politicians that, when I think it was what, Pelosi had refugees or whatever on her block outside her house, she
Mm-hmm.
didn't like that very much, did she?
Mm-hmm.
It's just pandering. It's a bunch of pandering. It's a bunch of just trying to say the right thing because they know they're screwed with the citizens here.
Mm-hmm. They're screwed. It's like, pinch me, somebody. Am I dreaming? Pinch me.
Well, we have a lot going on with the president, so I would say it is more of a dream than a nightmare, but what he can't get done because of them obstructing him right now, which is funny that they're accusing him of obstruction, but that's a whole nother story. It's like, I don't know. I hope they all get voted out, and some on the right too that are rhinos.
Mm-hmm. The rhinos. Wow. It's like, wow. They gotta go. They gotta go. And but at the end of the day, we're gonna win. We are winning. We are winning every day. Victory. It's not even just in politics. I see. I've been seeing brighter futures. I've been dealing with things at work. I've been dealing with things, and things are kind of like people are tired of the I don't know a word to put it, but people are tired of the lies.
Oh yeah.
They're tired of the lies. People are tired of the hate. And I literally talked to a lot of black people out here that are Trump triggered. I talked to a lot of them. They're really not though, but they're tired of the hate. These people is not even going to vote. And I said, I'd rather for you not vote at all than vote on the Democrat.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
anyway,
I would.
you'll be winning.
with everything that's going to come out, that's people are going to have to make a choice, and I'm sure some are going to come to us, but I hope a lot do stay home. I hope a lot are so disgusted with the left that they just stay home.
Mm-hmm. Well, we out there voting, so we gonna vote. We gonna vote.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say, I don't vote absentee. I know I'm perfectly eligible for it because I have a disability, but even if my polling place wasn't so close to me, I would vote in person because I don't trust what they would do to my vote.
Yep.
Like, I don't even trust what they do to my vote when I vote there,
Mm-hmm.
let alone leaving so much time and mail and anything for them to do what they want in the middle of sending an absentee. I don't trust it. So I think anybody, if I'm not gonna say anybody, if you're gonna vote for Trump and you're disabled, go up to the polling place, have somebody help you.
Yep.
If you're gonna vote for the left, send an absentee or stay home and just don't worry about it.
Yep. Don't worry about it, y'all. You know, we got this. You know, and
Mm-hmm.
all it takes is common sense. Let's use our common sense, and victory is ours.
So many people don't have it.
Mm.
It's cringeworthy. So many people don't have it.
They don't. I was like, come on, no common sense.
No common sense, no sense of humor.
Yes. Why so angry? Why the hell are you so angry? Stop being so angry all the time, and start being so loving. And you know, I had discussed it with you earlier, and like my life is not revolved around politics either. A whole life, you know, like your life is not resolved around politics. You know, you're doing different things and stuff. It's not about politics, 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 politics all the time.
Yeah. I babysit a 2-year-old little boy who's adorable, even though he's going through his terrible twos.
Mm.
I'm writing a book, which I've been writing for a while. I have a couple out, like mini books. This one I want to have like a major. And my ultimate dream, oh, and I have my YouTube channel, but my ultimate dream is to open a mind, body, spirit center for disabled people, but able-bodied people can come. And, I want people to be able to coexist where it's not labeled just for the disabled, but it's
Yeah.
perfectly equipped.
Yep. That's what I'm talking about, you know, and we need to you know, see everybody has a calling. Everybody has a calling, and everybody has a passion. And you find something that you believe, that you know, that will not just believe, that you know that will help people. Find something that you have. Find your platform. It's not just on social media. Your platform could be your book. Your platform can be a few people that you talk to. That's your platform. A platform could be a 3-way phone call. That's the platform. It's deeper than that. And find what y'all want to do.
Yeah, and that's how I always look at my disability, because a lot of people that because I've also coached people, but they're so closed off and so programmed to feel a certain way. But I always try to explain, listen, you're meant for more, and that's not all of who you are. And I look at my disability as a gift, and my gift to the world, because I wouldn't know what I know without it. I don't know how I would be without it. I don't know what type of person I would be without it. Trying to take away a huge aspect of your life like that would change the entire person that you are.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody who is, whining and crying, and, I do understand that a lot of people living with disabilities are suffering from severe depression, a lot have anxiety, but, you have to, even if, I'm not trying to get religious or anything, but you have to believe that God, or, whatever specific religion you have, he doesn't make mistakes. Your life isn't a mistake. And the way you were born wasn't just a fluke. There's something positive in it.
Yep, something positive. That's it. And we have to stay positive. And I'm gonna ask you. So, what is your like? What is your main goal? I mean, what is your biggest passion right now? Your biggest passion?
I love making videos on YouTube. Right now, my biggest passion is staying outside in the summer when it's not raining, which unfortunately it has been a lot. I feel like we're living in Florida right now because it's raining so much. But I love going to the beach. I want to do a lot more things that will inspire people and put them on my YouTube channel. Like one of the things I want to do on the next hot, nice day out is go kayaking down the block from me.
That's what I'm talking about. You know.
Because I feel like that too with people living with disabilities, you could tell them, but like in a call or a coaching call or even in the book, but showing them, we have the biggest weapon that we're on right now,
Yeah.
which is video. Like I could tell a friend something years ago
Right.
that now I can show people and it'll reach however many people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is amazing. People nowadays they don't watch TV like they used to. This is what they watch right here. They subscribe to channels, and we are the news source right here. You are.
I just got rid of cable.
Yeah. See. This is better than cable right here. This is more powerful. This is more. I'm telling you, TV is going down right here, and that's why they're censoring us right here. That's why they're doing it. That's why they shadow ban me right now. They make it. They don't want your testimony to get out. They don't want my testimony to get out. They don't want our testimony to get out.
Oh, the two of us with our identity politics that they slap on us, they're cringing right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We should team up on a lot of things. Really make them sweat.
Uh-huh. Yes. Oh man, this is real, y'all. And we all got to just stay real, y'all, because these people are not being real. They're being fake. They're staying fake, and they're not planning on being real. We got to be real. See, that's a victory right there. That we are real and they're fake. That's look. All right, 1-0 right there.
well, that's the main argument that we have. Like, if we're not gonna play tit for tat with their identity politics, okay, tell me honestly, which Democrat and even some Republicans, which one of them campaigned on something and actually followed through? The only person that I can think of is President Trump. Everybody else was lying to you for votes. Everybody, both sides, were lying to you for votes.
Yep, both. And these people can't see that. They can't see that. It's like, what's really, really good, y'all? Talk to me. What's really, really good? You can't see that. And the reason why I voted for Trump is common sense. It's common sense. It's nothing you like, oh, let me look at it. No, common sense. What made me vote for Trump, really, I was going to vote for Trump, right? But what really pumped me up to really go to that booth right there, to go ahead and cast my vote in, is when Trump said, African Americans, what the hell you have to lose?
Yep.
The schools are no good. You have no job. How many times the Democrat has failed you?
Exactly. That's what it's all about. How many times did they tell you? That's the thing. They liked Obama, who talked really pretty as long as he had a teleprompter, and then he was a blubbering mess when it didn't work.
Yes.
But somebody who just cuts straight to the point, tells them without a filter what it is, they have a problem with. Well, that's why, like we were talking about before, that's why this world is so soft and full of victims, because everybody's worried about their hurt feelings.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about feelings. It's about fact. Like when you're going through a hard time, like financially, you can cry about it, you can blame, but at the end of the day, you have to sit down with the piece of paper and go, okay, how do I fix this? What do I do? What did I, overspend or whatever? What can I cut? You have to look at the cold facts, the numbers, and deal with it like that. You can't blame. You could cry if it's upsetting, but you can't stay a victim unless you want to stay in that spot for the rest of your life, which sadly a lot of them do, because that's how they were groomed. That's how they grew up. A lot of them are too comfortable in the mess that the Democrats have created even before they were born. Because a lot of the snowflakes are very young. So all of this was, this is just what they were born into.
Mm-hmm. Trigger!
Yeah.
Trigger! Ah! Ah!
I want free college. I want free this.
Yes. Do they hear how stupid they sound?
Do you want to hear something? It is my dream to not need Social Security. My father passed away in 2009, so my mother is down as my caretaker, and so we're tied together financially. I will have to pretty much make, in order to go out on my own and to also, because I'm 32, I would definitely try to take care of my mother and make sure she didn't have to do much. I would have to be making twice as much off of Social Security, because I did try it once. I was working when my father was sick because he was the main breadwinner of our family.
Right.
So I was working overtime thinking I was doing this great thing for my family. And I was making a lot, but not enough that would have covered my check. They took me off because I didn't realize I exceeded the threshold. That's one of the things that I do think needs to be taken care of is before you get taken off, they can't take you off so far down where you're afraid to pursue a career, pursue a job, because you don't want to exceed and then get taken off before you can afford to be taken off. You know what I mean? So my ultimate dream is that I'm hustling and grinding right now so that it eventually happens.
You on the grind? That's what I'm talking about. Stay
Yeah,
on the grind.
I'm grinding right now so that it hopefully happens, but I'm scared to death. I'm like, okay, well, what happens if I end up making a lot and then both checks go away and we can't, get food or make rent? So I'm trying to. It's almost like I would have to get to what the Democrats want, which is immediate success, in order to be taken off. So I'm trying to go slow, but I want to go fast. Like, I want to go at a good pace so that it eventually does happen for me. I don't want to be doing this silent grind for a long time and never make it to that big goal that I have.
Yes. I hear you.
I know I just ranted.
No, rant.
I don't know where that came from.
This is thick skin only. You can rant here. That's why I call it thick skin only, because he's tired of these sensitive people, always in their feelings. Facts over feelings. When we speak the facts, they get in their feelings. Leave your feelings at home.
And that's another thing. So many people blindly take things as fact that isn't. And they'll argue with you that it's fact. And no matter how you argue back, it's not. It doesn't compute that it's not fact. They're like, but like Rachel Maddow said this, and I'm like, really? Really?
What you talking about, Willis?
I don't know how any of them are still on, to be honest. Like, thank God we have. I don't watch any mainstream media anymore. There's too many good ones that are doing independent media.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the future, hopefully, of the news. But there are still some good ones over there, but it's being taken over.
Yep.
And people are still believing it. That's the scary part.
Yeah, they still believe in it. It's like wow. I don't want to imagine how it would be here in 20 years. I don't even want to imagine it.
I mean, it depends. If in 2024 a Democrat gets in, or even like down the line, a Democrat gets in, we're screwed. If we can, if it's amazing to me how far left the Democrat Party is still pushing.
Yeah.
They have not realized that if they come to the middle, stop killing babies, stop being crazy, stop selling us out,
right,
then maybe, slight chance, they would have a future.
Yes.
There are still some crazy. Why do you think, and I'm not saying you think because you're smart, but I'm like talking to the crazies. Why do you think that they're even allowing so many illegals. They know they lost the black vote. They know they lost the Mexican vote of legal citizens.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so what are they going to do? They're trying to overtake us. And they have an allegiance to people who want to kill us, too.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to get your channel banned, so that's as far
No,
as
no,
I
no,
go
no,
with
no, no,
that.
no, no. Talk about. I say worse. I say go ahead. They ain't getting mad.
I mean, they don't care about this country. They care about the money and the ideologies that they're getting from people who want to kill us. Countries that shout death to America, throw gays off buildings. That's what it gets me. Like, I don't understand how so many of the identity politic
Hey, go ahead and
crowds.
rant. I'll be back in 1 minute.
Okay, I don't understand how so many of the identity politic crowds still vote Democrat, because they do care so much about their issue. Okay, if that's the case, if Black Lives Matter, stop killing Black babies in abortions, stop the crime and the corruption in the lower economic areas, which some of them, I'm not going to say all, are predominantly, other races, not even just Black, they're other races. Give them a hand up, not
Right.
a hand out, and stop making them so dependent on you in the government, and give them a chance, which is why I'm really happy about the First Step Act.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy, you have to fight their tactics against them, which is why I'm happy that people like Kim Kardashian
Yeah.
and Kanye West
Mm-hmm.
are fighting.
They fight.
Because they technically, I mean, at least Kim, she used to be friends with Donald Trump, but she, at first, when Kanye was all "Make America Great Again," she kind of backtracked and tried to filter it a little bit. Now she sees that if you do the right thing, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
And that's what the president's message I feel, has been the whole time. Just do the right thing. It doesn't matter Democrat or Republican, doesn't matter what race. Just do the right thing. And in some ways, I don't even think he's as far right as people think he is. He's trying to bridge the gap and bring people together.
Yes.
On both sides.
Yes.
He really is.
Yes. And
there are things that he's already done that the old right would never do. There's probably people who were cringing on the right while he was in doing it, that they were like, okay, this isn't our issue. Well, he's making it the issue.
Yes, making an issue. It's like, wow. When I saw Kanye West last year, how he talked about free thinking. As soon as he said, "I like the way Candace Owens thinks," that's when people got triggered. They got Trump triggered.
Yeah.
Oh, you like the way she thinks? Ah! Like they want to scream a liberal that she's sitting here foaming at the mouth. So they foam at the mouth. These people. And
I don't understand how she's a white supremacist. Can somebody explain that to me? Like, am I just stupid? Like, how is that woman a white supremacist?
Yeah. How is it, y'all? Like, wow. You can't make these up. You can't. You can't.
Thank God we live in an age where we have evidence of this stuff, because I really hope this country turns so far right for right now in order to just reach the tipping point.
Yes.
That people are looking at the craziness of the left right now in like 20, 30 years, and they're like, what the hell was going on?
Yes. Like, wow. Listen, I have never in my life, and I'm 46 years old, and I've never in my life been into politics. Never. I was taught that I got to be Democrat by my mother and my family, and one day I drew a picture of Reagan. I think it's 1984 or something. I drew a picture of Reagan. I drew a picture of all the presidents, and my mother come downstairs and said this. Who wrote Reagan? I said, I did. Well, how about you do this, but this man would take money from the poor and give it to the rich. I'm like, for real? Oh, I didn't know that. And that's what I fed off that right there as a kid.
Oh, you're gonna, because, and that's what I said before, is they're being groomed for this by their parents, who are being indoctrinated by the politicians and by the entertainers on the left. Like, that's what's dangerous. Like, this is, like I said, is a powerful tool for us, but it's also as powerful for the people who love music or watching shows where all it is politics. Now, we hate that, but they're very vulnerable to it.
Yes, they are. They're so weak-minded. Like, wow. That's what I call a mental illness right there. When you weak-minded like that, that's a mental illness. You sick-minded. You don't feel good about yourself, and you just want to keep up with everybody. It's like a person in high school want to keep up with the popular people. Oh, I don't want to sit with the nerds. Let me sit with the popular people. And no, you better sit with the nerds.
Well, that's exactly what the left, I don't want to say elected officials, well, technically elected officials, the 20,000 that are running on the left, that's what their pandering is all about.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to, like, drink beers and, try to appear as normal like us, but they're failing miserably because it looks awkward. It's definitely not genuine. And Herman Cain, who I feel still to this day we were robbed of, and I'm so upset that he turned down the position that President Trump was going to give him.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was, what was it? The Fed, I think.
Okay.
He said it best. They think we're stupid. Not we. They think that the left, all of us technically, but they think that we're stupid.
Mm-hmm.
They think that we're going to believe everything out of their mouths because they say it. They don't show it. And like I said, they come back every 2-4 years, say the right thing, and then they don't show up. This is the first man, President Trump, who ever showed up, followed through, and it shows that they never have. Because did they really not expect this? He ran on the things that he's doing, but yet they're screaming and crying now. They thought that he was going to do what everybody else has done for decades, which is nothing.
Mm-hmm. Nothing. Ooh, wait, man. What are we gonna do with these people?
I'd get you banned.
What are we gonna do with this? You ain't get me banned. You not gonna get me banned. You see, I got 500 videos uploaded. There was some videos I had to delete that I was too off the chain with. So trust me.
I want you to keep
everybody
this one,
channel knows.
I want you to be able to keep this one.
Nah, they ain't gonna do that. They got a new thing called the warning. So if anything, they give me a warning. Go ahead.
Yeah. So
they're eventually gonna ban me anyway.
I'll clean it up as best I can.
Don't clean it up.
Vote them out.
Vote them out.
Yeah.
Get them out.
And I do think, as funny as, and lighthearted as I'm trying to be, I do think that one thing we have to learn is the compassion that the left pretends to have. We need to genuinely have it, because there's going to be a lot of people. I mean, there's going to always, and this is what I think the right doesn't understand, there's going to be people who never believed what's coming out and what's going to continue to come out. They're never going to stop believing it. But there's going to be a lot of people who are looking around like, oh my God, what was going on under my nose? For how long? What do I do? Where do I go? What is happening?
Right.
And we have to be able to be compassionate with them and say, okay, I understand you feel this way. Here are the facts. Here's, climb down the rabbit hole with me. There's more.
The facts. Yes.
There's even more. Yeah, there's even more that you must have missed, but here it is. And I understand that you're feeling lost right now. You don't know where to go, but everything they said about President Trump and his supporters is not true. We will welcome you. If you believe in common sense and you want to do the right thing and, come join us.
Yep. Come join us. Join it. Get away from the dark side. Come
Yeah.
to light.
That's what it's
light.
coming down to. Sadly, it's not left or right anymore. It's dark and light,
Yep.
evil and good.
Yep. Because a lot of the Republicans I don't like either.
Yeah. A lot of them are rhinos.
Yep. The rhinos.
And there's ones that I didn't think were too bad, but they're flip-flopping too much for me.
Rhinos be acting a donkey.
Oh, yeah.
They be acting a donkey.
That's my favorite thing. The left has the perfect symbol.
Yes.
They have the perfect
symbol. They're a bunch of donkeys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Bunch of donkey. They acting a donkey. Like the rhinos. They act like the donkeys.
They're all the same. They're
showing a donkey.
What really, like, I was already red pilled a long time ago, but as you continue to learn things, you get more and more red pilled. The thing that really, I don't want to say hurt me, but slightly surprised me was Bush Jr. holding hands with Michael Obama. Michael Obama.
Michael Obama.
Yeah.
No.
I'm just saying.
She's a. Let me stop it because Jones with all these so-called fake news.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. They were
Look at it. I mean, people saw the print on it. They saw the print. They saw the print.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was. I think it was McCain's funeral. They were holding hands, singing, and I'm like, okay, they're a little too buddy for me right now. And it was around that time. Things were already coming out. Before that, things continue to come out, and I'm like, they're all the same. The only, and I know that it makes, especially the left, call him a dictator, but literally the only one that I genuinely trust is President Trump.
Yep. I trust the white nationalists. I trust them. I trust the man that said bad things about women.
Yeah.
I understand. That's what y'all say, right? Oh, I trust the bully. That's what y'all call it, right?
Yeah, with the things that they say on camera and they know they're being recorded, I would die to get their hot mics. I want to hear what they say when nobody's listening, because it's probably a million times worse. And when he said what he said about women, that was on a hot mic years and years ago.
Yeah. Come on now. I've been at work before. Men go around, talk, and we said some stuff behind closed door. We see the women coming in. Shh. Here she comes. All right, we go. Now, we start talking. Women do this. People do that. A cool crowd. You got your cool crowd, and he said, "I'll grab you by the woo this, woo that." That's what he said.
Women do it too. Don't let them fool you.
I'll grab you by the woo too.
And don't even get me started on Me Too. Oh my God.
Me Too. Bring it. Get started on Me Too. Please get started. Rant.
Okay, so I know that it does happen. Okay, I'm not saying, but I think it's a disservice to people who have actually been raped. And it's a disservice to the innocent men, because there are some in both sexes, and there are only two. There are people in both sexes who will say that for money or fame. And I'm sorry, if you have no evidence, if you did not get a rape kit or something, if you went to the media first before the hospital, sorry, I don't believe you.
Next.
And you could say that it's a little disheartening because there's been people that were accused that I'm a fan of, but me and friends of mine have dug deep, like we all do on the right, because we're smart people. And if you can poke holes in it, if you could poke holes in somebody's story, that's called reasonable doubt in court. And I'm tired of the court of public opinion.
I feel you. I hear you. We got to rise up. What's up, Tony Patriot? Man, much love, man. And this guest also, this is an awesome guest. He's an awesome guest we have right here.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Man, we just it's like wow, it's you are a living testimony. You are a living testimony right here. And that's what we all need to do is be living testimonies. We have to stop playing a victim and be living testimony.
Yeah.
Use whatever that you're going through as a testimony.
Yeah. I don't even besides the left, I don't associate with victims. I'm human. There are times things get me pissed. There are times things get me upset. But at the end of the day, you have to pick yourself back up because nobody else is going to. I don't care if you are in the disabled community and you have a caretaker. At the end of the day, you are still responsible for yourself and your own mind and your own heart. Nobody can fix that for you. And you have to remember what you're letting into it too. You know, there, like we were talking about before, with so many people on the internet, and you have to really resonate with the person that you're following. If things do not resonate with you online, if it's like a job or a family or something, and you can't totally cut them out, you have to filter. You have to filter what you take in and not let it get to you, not let it get you down, because you're still in control. I don't care what you can't control on your body. You can control your mind, and you can control who you let mess with it, who you let mess with you. And, at the end of the day, you have to keep your power or take it back if you already gave it away.
Yep. You got to. We got to. We had a lot to do, everybody. Everybody, listen, y'all. We have a lot to do. We have to go ahead and we have to take a stand. We have to take a step out on faith, y'all. And that's when it comes down to it, because these people have no faith because they trust in humanity. They trust in what they hear. They trust in Hollywood, and they forgot the values of the coin, but they try to take it off. In God we trust. They don't do that no more. They don't have values anymore.
Yeah,
they don't have values anymore. And by me looking at In God we trust as a growing up, it kept me humble. It kept me convicted. It called me out on my BS a lot, for real. It called me out, conviction.
Well, I think that's why everything has happened over the last several years, because we shut God out, and now he's back and he's pissed.
Yep.
He's back and he's like, listen, this is what you did to my people, and just watch out. Yes. And the evil is going to get drained down the swamp now.
Yep.
And I hope all of it is public TV, because I might get cable back for that.
For real.
Or I hope one of you guys stream it, because I'll watch it on there.
Bring it, y'all. Bring it. Oh man, that's I don't know. I feel like we're living in the Matrix right now. I feel like we're living in this. I know. I said this many times in my videos, but I'm gonna say it again. I know I sound like a broken record. I feel like we watching these zombie movies, like Night of the Living Dead. I feel like Return of the Living Dead, Day of the Dawn, Dawn of the Dead, whatever. I feel like this because literally, when I was at a Trump rally, we had hundreds of Antifas protesting, and they was like this, and they assaulted me. They was assaulting me and everything.
And they're naked and they have pink hats.
Yes. The pink coochie hats, I call them.
Yep, exactly. There is one story I do want to tell you now that you reminded me when you said the Trump rally.
Okay.
I have met the president.
All right.
And I lived through it. And he doesn't want to kill me or my community. I hate saying community because my community is America, but the disabled community. And so I had gone to an April 2016 rally.
Okay.
In Bethpage, New York. And it was me and my cousin.
Yeah.
And we had gotten in, and we thought that we were going to be front row, because we were by the gate, and I've been to enough like concerts and everything to know that where the gate is and to know that that's usually front row. But there was a very large gap in between from there to the stage. So I'm like, something is weird. Turns out VIP was in front of us. And since I'm in a wheelchair, I'm like, okay, this isn't good. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to see, and I didn't wait since 8 o'clock this morning to see him and not be able to see anything. So I bring security over, and I'm like, can you help me? And they're like, there's not much we can really do. I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? I'm not going to leave, and I'm not going to not see the whole time. So we need to do something.
Yeah.
So he's like, hold on 1 second. So he brings Secret Service over, who then gives me a Trump crest thing, the coin.
Yeah.
So I'm like, thank you very much, but I still can't see. So he's like, okay, if you can make it, and I was on the left, mind you, if you can make it to the right, we can take you up further. I'm like, I'll make it. Trust me. So I asked everybody if they would just make a path for me. Everybody did. Everybody was very nice. And this is New York, mind you. So all of the Trump supporters in New York were very nice. They made a pathway for me. Ended up, I got to the end of it, and I went forward. I was by the stairs, sitting with his family.
Wow.
I was with Don Jr. I was with
Whoa.
Eric. I was with Laura.
Yes.
Tiffany. I think no, Tiffany wasn't there. I'm sorry. Tiffany and Melania weren't at that one, and Baron wasn't at that one. So I sat with them. They were hysterical. So as it was winding down, and of course, I watched enough of his speeches to know that when he starts to, wrap up before the whole "Let's make America safe again, make America great again," all of that right before then, I kind of knew when it was coming. So I go to Don Jr. I'm like, is there any way that you can flag your dad so that I can meet him? And they're like, yeah, no problem. So they backed away, and they told him what a great job he did. And then they pointed right to me. He came over. I told him, listen, please do not. And this was for everybody. This wasn't just for me.
Yeah.
I said, please do not think that everybody buys into identity politics and the lies that people say about you.
Wow.
I go, look, I'm in a wheelchair. I'm also a woman. I identify as a woman as well, which is another story that I'm sorry I didn't get into, but I wholeheartedly support you because I want national security. I want a good economy, and I like what you're all about. We need tough. And he looked at me, he smiled, and he said, "Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that." He signed my hand. We took a picture.
Wow.
It was great. And my cousin I felt really bad because she was upset because she didn't want to come with me when I moved. I'm like, are you okay over here? Because I know she didn't want to come. And I'm like, are you sure you don't want to come? Are you sure you're okay over here? Because she didn't think I was going to meet him. She didn't know that the other side would have the stairs, and
Right.
that I would meet him over there.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully, I know he says that he's coming to the four corners of the country. Hopefully he comes back so I could take her and make her listen to me this time, and we'll meet him together, hopefully.
Wow. Powerful. That was great. That's great, man. Good stuff, man. It's stuff I'm talking about, Wow, this is amazing. And I'm really enjoying this movement. And since I supported Trump in 2016, I supported Trump. That's when I started supporting Trump. And I met so many wonderful patriots online, never met them, and we like this.
Yeah.
I met them, and
me too.
Like I never had such a great family in my life.
Yeah, they're very, very supportive.
Got wonderful people in the chat room. Love all y'all, man. It's just real, y'all. And I'm just learning. I mean, I've been growing. What I'm saying, because of all you guys' friendship, because of your friendship.
Yeah, I don't want to, blow anybody else's spot or bring up another.
Go no.
Okay, I can because I have been a follower of Brendan Dilley since he had a YouTube channel of his life coaching. So this was like even before he was getting too much into politics. His community has been amazing. Like the hardcore people that are still with him, a couple of years ago, I was considering getting a Firefly scooter, which is right next to me right now, because he shared the GoFundMe that I had for it. It was over $2,000, wasn't covered by insurance.
Yes.
So I had people begging me to make a GoFundMe, and I really don't like them. And, it's just, I was kind of iffy. But they're like, one of my friends was like, okay, I'll make it. So I ended up sharing it on Twitter, and Brendan shared it to his whole community, and
All right.
ended up, I got it within like 2 days. Like I reached the goal within like 2 days.
Yes.
So, and that was something very, very important to me. Something that'll really help me out. So,
I love your spirit. You such a you such a free spirited person.
I try to be.
I try to be too, but I'm crazy. Look, I said people tell me that. I said I try to be.
I'm a little crazy too.
It's good. So you're from New York. I'm from Chicago. So
You have to be.
Two crazies are right here. Don't let the wheelchair fool you. She's crazy too.
I have run over many people.
Yes, run over. She ran over many people.
Both by accident and on purpose. And let me tell you, when I run you over on purpose and it's a little hard, the shins bleed.
Thick skin only. She gonna run over your feet.
The shins bleed, so make sure you do have thick skin because it will cut through.
Yeah, y'all didn't expect that, did y'all? Like, oh yes. He's making fun. Sometimes we gotta laugh. We gotta laugh at ourselves to keep from crying.
Exactly, and I feel like that's really missing in America right now, especially in these segregated social justice communities. Like, he made fun of me, even though he didn't. Everybody that they're claiming he made fun of, or if somebody doesn't like somebody, it's because I'm a Democrat. No. Well, okay, maybe a little bit, but if you weren't crazy on top of being a Democrat, there are some normal ones. General Michael Flynn is a perfect example of a normal registered Democrat. Because I don't think he's much of a Democrat anymore, but he was at one point, and we love him.
Yep. We love him. We love him. We love him. All right. Wow, you have a lot to say. Oh man,
I'll never shut up. You
that's great. I love this. That's why you're coming back on here again.
I'll be back anytime you want.
All right, good, cool. That's what I'm talking about. And I told you y'all was in for a treat today. I'm gonna make a thumbnail but man, it's just like it's a pleasure having you on here. You take our mindsets in a different dimension, and that's what happens when you think so outside the box that we come to a different dimension.
There is no box. Don't let them fool you. Don't let them push you into a box and close it.
Yes.
Destroy it.
Destroy it.
Flatten out the box.
For real. And to any YouTube vloggers, y'all want us to get, look, she's trying to get 1,000, so I got a 500. Yeah, we need this word out here. Any YouTube, Tony Patriot, anybody, man, want to interview with, man, holler. Y'all know how to reach me. Tony Patriot, you can email me. I give you my phone number. And we can, man, I'm telling you, man, we all have a voice. And this is what I love about this movement, because we all have a voice, all of us.
And we better use it. And that's another thing. There's too many people out there who water it down, and that's where it's kind of counterproductive in our movement, because we do have many, many Christians who have been meek, who have not understood the level of what's really going on, and they don't know how to rationalize their anger with it, so they'll get offended with people who curse. And I'm like, listen, if you're offended by a couple of curse words, you're not gonna like what's coming next, because I think we all have a feeling it's pretty bad, and us cursing about it is the least of people's worries.
Yes, the least of people's worries. Y'all better recognize. Hey, take it away for 1 minute. I'll be back.
Okay. What do you want me to ask me a question first?
Oh yeah, let me ask you a question. And what do you think? So I'm gonna let you take this away. What do you think about Look, I might get flagged for this, but it was a disturbing picture.
Okay.
A disturbing. I want you to rant about this. A disturbing picture I saw on Facebook. You had the 6-year-old, 7-year-old at a pride fest, and they walking around with thongs on, the men, and they bringing their kids down there with the makeup. And I already look. I'm gonna let you rant about this, but what is your take on that?
Okay. So, okay, I know you're not supposed to say I have gay friends because they get really bent out of shape when you rationalize it that way, but I do. I have gay friends. I don't care who you marry, I don't care who you sleep with. You're not going to be sleeping with any of them next to me anyway, so it's none of my business. I don't like, pride parades are for the gay community as a whole, so, you do what you want there, but when it comes to children, that's a problem. It's a problem to me when they push the transgender stuff on children when their hormones are just changing. And of course, they're going to feel like some girls are going to feel more like a tomboy. Now that means that they have to get a penis surgically attached. They don't let kids be kids. I don't like transgender teachings or anything like that in school. Let me tell you something. Okay, and the reason that this is so important to me, when I was in 7th grade, that's when we started, and it's starting much younger nowadays, I notice. But when I was in 7th grade was when I really started to learn sex ed.
Yeah.
I would always have my mother test me in every subject. She would, write down all the information I had to study, and I would have her test me periodically in order to memorize. So I go, "Hey, Ma, I have a health test tomorrow." I said health because I didn't really look at it as sex ed. It was just part of my health class.
Yeah.
I have a health test tomorrow. Can you test me? So, okay. She looks at it and she goes, "I'm not testing you. Why are they teaching you this?" And this was just like the technical terms of body parts and stuff. She would have probably lit the page on fire if I was in school now and they were teaching what they're teaching now. Okay, I can see them saying you don't necessarily have to be attracted to the same sex, but I don't think hormonally it's possible to know what you quote unquote identify as
Yes.
until after you get rid of the hormones when they're crazy. And then later on in life, and I know this because my mother's around the age, later on in life, when you go through the other change, it's going to happen again. And then to take it a step further, I don't think anybody else should be responsible for your choice to change your body, especially if you're choosing it and want to be part of our military or serve our government in any capacity. Taxpayers shouldn't have to be responsible for that. It's your choice. You're free to do it. It's America. You can identify as a unicorn for all I care. I really don't. But it shouldn't be. It's an elective thing. It's like the same as somebody who wants to get implants. Which I mean, that's part of it if you're a guy transitioning into a woman. But like the whole thing is crazy, and the thing about it is the left officials are so fake and they're not genuine at all.
Come on.
They're letting this happen. They're letting people be emotionally manipulated into the point of changing their bodies, changing their build up, changing their makeup, their blood, their hormones. And then they never, you know, they're going to have to go through hell to get back in the transgender community. And like we mentioned before, Brendan Dilley, he got banned on Twitter because he mentioned the level of suicides within the transgender community.
This is sad. This is just sad that you can't speak your mind no more. You can't speak your mind. You got to speak their mind.
Exactly. And I'm not saying any of these people going through this are bad people. I think they're being manipulated. If you truly, when you have gone through your, your period or your, whatever it is, whatever they call it that guys go through, and you genuinely still do not feel like you are in the right body, I think you need mind, body, and spirit help before you make that life-changing decision. And if you do at the end, more power to you, but you better be made aware of what it's doing to your mind. And that's what's crazy to me is they tell you when it comes to disabilities, they tell you these horror stories. I was never supposed to sit up. I was never supposed to crawl. I was going to be pretty much a vegetable that did nothing. That was my prognosis.
Yes.
And a lot of people with my disability, depending on the level, were told the same thing. But everything is sunflowers and roses when it comes to the other elective surgeries. Oh, it's fine. Give that 11-year-old, another sex.
Yeah.
And I don't understand that the left is all about confusion and emotions, because I don't understand how you could have women's rights but also claim that there's 12,000 other genders and we're all equal and women's rights then mean nothing because who knows if it's actually a woman. Like, it doesn't make sense. And I think they like it that way. They don't want any of this to make sense because they want to confuse you. They want to keep you vulnerable so that you have to look to them for the answers. They want you to take away the critical thinking that you have.
Yeah.
Man, you have me ranting about a lot today.
No, I want you to rant. Hey, thanks, bro. Thanks, bro.
You got one?
Yeah, I'm good. But anyway, I'm doing one-way interview. One of my guys just popped. One of my moderators just popped up here. You over there kicking it.
Hi.
Yeah. Yeah. You have a powerful testimony. You have a powerful story. You have a powerful rant, and I appreciate you coming on here.
I appreciate you having me, and I definitely will come on again if you'll have me.
We've been over here for like an hour or so. We're about to man, it's starting getting good, but look, to be continued.
Yeah, let's leave it there for them.
Leave it there for them, and I like to thank you for coming on here. I appreciate you, Marissa. You know, so funny. I was gonna name my daughter Marissa. Her name is Ashley, but because it sounded like Maurice. My real name is Maurice, so I was gonna say Marissa. It was similar to my name. Marissa.
You should have. Maybe one of the grandkids.
Yeah, maybe one of the grandkids. I was gonna do it because it sounded like Maurice, Marissa.
Yeah, have one of them name a grandkid.
Yes, and all right. Before you go, tell people. Actually, once you tell them, I'm gonna have you send me the links to your Twitter and all that, and I'm gonna put it in my description box. I'm gonna edit it again.
Okay.
So tell everybody where they can find you at.
My Twitter is at Marissa Meleske, which is MarisssaMeleske. You can find me on Instagram at Push Past Paralysis. I also have a like page on Facebook, which is Push Past Paralysis. And I recently changed my YouTube channel to Push Past Paralysis. But if you can't find me that way, search Marissa11586 and you still could be able to find me that way. As well as I think one of my pinned tweets is my channel in some capacity, whether it's a video or the channel itself. And like Mo said, I'm definitely trying to get my subscribers through the roof up there so I could hopefully one day get monetized again.
Yes. And wow. And you are a breath of fresh air here on this YouTube. And everybody, it's in the description box. Please subscribe to our channel. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, because you can do a lot with 1,000 going on your phone. You can do some other stuff because YouTube is trying to censor anyway. So make sure everybody subscribe to our channel. Please, y'all in for a treat, y'all. Y'all in for a powerful. This is a powerful woman right here. I'm telling you, we need more women. Look, in my Kanye voice, I like the way she thinks.
I like that. I like that better than I like the way Candace Owens thinks. That even though it's personal, I like that better.
Like that better. Okay, that's all right. Thank you for coming on here. Stay on the line. I'm going to stop the broadcast, okay?
Okay, thank you for having me.
Anytime. All right, y'all. Much love, y'all. Deuces. See y'all. Remember, keep America great.